Dear students, today I will tell you the interfacing of 8254 programmable interval timer with 8085. Okay, so earlier we have done the interfacing of 8259 and 8255 with 8085. The interfacing concept for all the IO chip is almost same except the connections of the chip. Okay, like in 8255 what we are having at here, port A, port B and port C. Okay, and in 8259 what we are having, interrupts. Okay, IR0 to IR7. Okay, and in this 8254 we are having counters C0, C1 and C2, and one is the control word. Okay, so whatever the count comes or the address comes, that goes to this 8254 through these two pins A1 and A0. Okay, earlier we have done this in 8255 also. In the same pattern we have applied A1 and 802 selection address selection lines. Okay, so these address selection lines select the internal address for 8254. Okay, the 8254 will be selected using this CS bar chip. Okay, but inside the 8254 there are four more address required for selecting counter 0, counter 1, counter 2 as well as the control word. Okay, so for those four addresses we require two address lines. Okay, that gives us four options 0001 1011. So we will do this in when we do the IO mapping. Okay, so first of all we will understand this diagram, although this is as same as we have done in the 8255 except these counter 0, counter 1 and counter 2. Okay, so counter 0 is having three independent signals: clock which triggers the counter, gate signal which enables the counter, and output signal that after counting with the appropriate count, this output signal will be generated. Okay, so all these three signals are individually for these three counters. Okay, so these counters are independent of each other. Okay, and there is a control word at which the MUPI gives the command when it initialize the 8254. Okay, so we require four addresses inside, and for those four addresses we require A1 and A0 two address lines. Okay, when you see this video, you resemble this video with 8255 interfacing video so that you can understand both of easily. Okay, now see, this is our 8085 chip. Okay, I have not shown the remaining pins of 8085 because those are of not use in this interfacing, but if you want to show, you can show all those pins. Okay, here I have shown the 8 higher order address bus. Okay, this is your ALE signal and this is your multiplexed address bus. Okay, AD7 to AD0. Okay, now as higher order address bus goes directly, okay, because it always contains the address. Okay, this is the part of demultiplexing of address data bus. Okay, and I have discussed this in a separate lecture as well as in the interfacing of 8255 as well as 8259. Okay, but again I am telling you about this, that when ALE signal is 1, okay, it means this gate is enabled for this latch. Okay, so this 74373 latch. Okay, so when this signal is 1, this bus contains address. Okay, so that address enters to the latch. Now this latch captures that address, and this happens in the first T state of timing diagram. Okay, and for the remaining two T states, this latch will provide the lower address. Okay, higher address is always available with this higher order address bus, and the lower address will be provided for remaining two T state by this latch. Okay, once the ALE becomes 0, this gate is closed now. Okay, so that now ALE, when ALE becomes 0, this bus contains data. So data wants to enter but couldn't enter because of this gate is closed. Okay, so now data is separated as a data bus, and that is D7 to D0. Okay, so here what we have done, we have done the multiplexing of address and data bus, and through this concept, through this latch, we have done the demultiplexing of address and data bus. Okay, so for first T state, this bus is carrying address, and for remaining two T states, this bus is carrying data, and that lower order address byte will be provided by this latch. Okay, although we are having IO chip over here, so IO chips has the 8-bit address, so we require A0 to A7 pins only. Okay, but I told you in the lectures of timing diagram that for IO chips that address will be duplicated. Okay, if we are talking about memory chip, then that address will be higher order address and lower order address, but in IO chips the address is of 8-bit only, then that address will be duplicated on both the higher order and lower order address bus. Okay, now these two lines will go inside the chip 8254 for internal selection. Okay, so whenever these are having value 00, counter 0 will be selected, 01 counter 1, 010 counter 2, and if they are having 11 then the command word will be selected. Okay, so we will decide some address for this 8254 internal selection. Okay, now this is the 3 to 8 decoder which we have used. Okay, so this is an IO chip, so we want IO read and IO write signals to be connected with this read bar and write bar signals. Okay, so MUP is having control signals. Out of those control signals I have used write bar, read bar and IO oblique M bar. Okay, so these three signals, because it is a 3 to 8 decoder, so these three signals are connected as input to this G2 3 to 8 decoder, and outputs are 8, which are active low outputs Y0 to Y7. Okay, now see here, if I had provided 001 over here, what does it mean? When we have provided 001, it means it is a memory operation, read operation. Okay, so memory read. Okay, so 001, it means this is the value corresponding to 1, so y1 will be selected, and at y1 we have given the memory read. Okay, active low. Okay, all the signals are active low. Now if 010 is provided at the input, now 0 means memory operation, and here write bar is 0 means a write operation. So at 010 means y2, at y2 we have provided the memory write. See here. Okay, now for 101, okay, now we have converted this signal into 1, means we are talking about IO chips. Okay, so for 101 means IO operation, IO chip, and this is read. Okay, so this is called IO read, and 101 means Y5. So at Y5 I have connected IO read, which is active low, and that is connected to the read bar of this 8254 chip. And same 110 means this is IO operation and this is write operation. So this is called IO write, active low signal, and that is connected, this Y6 is connected to the write bar of this signal. Okay, so we have done this part of this interfacing for 8254. Now this is the signal CS bar, means this is chip select. Okay, so it may be possible that in the question of interfacing we are provided with the address. Okay, in the question addresses are mentioned. Okay, that these are the addresses for that particular chip. Okay, so we will use those addresses. Otherwise you can take any random address of 8-bit for this 8254. Okay, so for the resemblance of the remaining interfacing video of 8255 and 8259, I have taken 60, 61, 62 and 63. I will show you the examples by taking some other addresses also, but let us continue with these addresses. Okay, suppose we have taken the addresses 60, 61, 62 and 63. Okay, so I will expand this address 60 like 0110, because these are hexadecimal, and when hexadecimal enters to computer, these are converted into binary. So in binary I will write them 0110 and 0000. Okay, now see here, these two lines which enters the 8254 chip, here see A1 and A0, these enters the 8254 chip, and I told you these are used for internal selection of counter 0, counter 1, counter 2, as well as the command word. Okay, so when we are having 0001, 1011, appropriate counter or command word will be selected based on these addresses. Okay, now when we expand this 61, 62, 63, I have written those expanded version of all these. You can write them easily. You know it how to write 63 in binary. So 0110 or hexadecimal 0110 and 0011. Okay, now See here, 60, 61, 62, 63 are the different addresses which I have taken for counter 0 respectively, counter 0, counter 1, counter 2 and command word. Okay, so these lines are used for internal selection and these lines are used for chip selection. Okay, so how do we select a chip? By using one more 3 to 8 decoder. Okay, so this 3 to 8 decoder will do what? We will apply the signals to this 3 to 8 decoder. Okay, there are three enable signals also. This is called G1, this is G2A bar and G2B bar. These are active low signals and this is an active high signal. Okay, this decoder is same as we have taken over here. Okay, so we can connect these two signals as ground. Okay, so this will enable the decoder. Okay, now see, suppose for the sake of resemblance I have always taken A7, A6 and A5 as an input of this decoder. Okay, so I suggest you to take this lines as input, otherwise you can take any three input out of these six, okay, as a input of decoder, but for resemblance and for the sake of convenience I take A7, A6 and A5. Okay, so what I am taking A7, A6 and A5 as a input of decoder. Okay, so what does it mean? Means we are having 0 1 1 for all these four addresses. What values we are having for A7, A6 and A5? 0 1 1 always. Okay, so I have connected 0 1 1. What does it mean? It means Y3 bar will be selected. Okay, and this Y3 bar will be 0 only when this is connected to this CS bar, then only this chip 8254 programmable interval timer will be selected. Otherwise for other any addresses this chip will not be selected, and this chip should not be selected for any other addresses apart from these four addresses. Okay, so now if we left this decoder over here by connecting A7, A6 and A5, and after connecting this 0 1 1 definitely this Y3 will be selected. If we left the decoding over here, then it is called the partial decoding, because we have not taken the A4, A3 and A2 into account, because A1 and A0 are used for internal selection and A7, A6 and A5 we have used as an input of decoder. The remaining bits are A4, A3 and A2. So we need to take these three bits also into account, so that we can say that yes, we have done the full decoding. Okay, so what we will do for these address which I have taken for example, for these addresses these bits are 0. Okay, 0 0 0 for all these four addresses, these bits are 0. Okay, so we can directly connect these bits like you can connect A2 bar. Okay, so A2 you can directly connect to this G2B bar, because value of A2 is 0, so this 0 will go to here and that will allow this decoder to work. Okay, not only this signal, we need to connect some signals to this G2A bar also, so we can connect A4 and A3 which are having value 0 0. So what we will do, we will use a OR gate. Okay, as we have done in the interfacing of 8255, we will use OR gate and we will connect this A4 and A3. Okay, now both are having value 0 0. So when these two are having 0 0 value, this will be having 0 at the output. Okay, so this will be enabling this G2A bar, and this G2A bar will enable this decoder. Okay, and at G1 we can connect IO oblique M bar. Okay, so this, as we are connecting this to the IO chip, so this signal will be 1 and this one will go to this G1. So this G1, G2A bar and G2B bar are now active. These two are active low and this is active high, and they are now having the values 1, and so that we can say that this decoder is enable. Okay, now when we connected all these signals and we have given this Y3 to the CS bar, now we can say that yes, we have done the full decoding. Okay, now this is the full decoding only when these addresses are given. Okay, only for these addresses this chip will be selected, and this chip will do the appropriate actions based on the instructions provided by the, or the commands, initialization commands provided by the 8085. Okay, so this is called the interfacing. Now we can change the addresses. Okay, now suppose you can take EA. suppose this is your address, okay, EA, EB, EC and ED. Okay, now you can take these addresses. Okay, now what if we expand these addresses? Okay, I use H for all these addresses for hexadecimal. Okay, now if I expand this EA, so don't confuse with this H. Okay, this is for hexadecimal only. Okay, now if EA is expanded, then it becomes 1 1 1 0. E is 14, A is 10, 1 0 1 0. Okay, now what are the values of A7, A6 and A5? These are the value. Okay, I write here A7, A6, A5 and A4, then A3, A2, A1 and A0. So these two bits are for internal selection. Okay, these three are as an input of decoder. So we will connect A7, A6 and A5. Now we are having 1 1 1. So this Y7 will be selected. Okay, so we need to connect this Y7 to this CS bar. Okay, you can take any A7, A6, A5, you can take any value of this, because this 0 1 will be changed only. Okay, if you change this address, then these bits will be changed in either 0 or 1. Okay, so you can take any address and based on that value, okay, the appropriate output will be selected. Here I have taken 60 address. So based on that 60 address, here 60, 61, 62, 63, the values of A7, A6 and A5 are 0 1 1. So I told you that 0 1 1, for 0 1 1 Y3 will be selected. Now if I have changed the address to EA, EB, EC and ED, so the values of A7, A6 and A5 are 1 1 1. So based on 1 1 1, Y7 will be selected and that Y7 will be connected to CS bar. Okay, so we have done the partial decoding. Now these are for internal selection. Now we take these three bits into account. Okay, so values of A4, A2 and A3 are 0 1 0. Okay, so what we do, if you want to do this type of connection only, then A2 is having 0 value, so that A2 will be connected directly. Suppose if any address, suppose we have taken some other address over here, now then suppose it would have become 1 1 1 0 EE. Okay, so if A2 is having one value over here, then we can connect it by an inverter. Okay, I have done this in the interfacing of 8255. Okay, so if A2 is having value 1, then we can connect A2 by putting an inverter. Okay, that convert the A2 values into 0 and that 0 will go to this G2A bar. Okay, you get this point or not? That if this A2 is having 0, you can directly connect to this, and if A2 is having value 1, then you can use an inverter to invert the value from 1 to 0 and that 0 will be applied to this G2B bar. Okay, now see here, A4 is having 0 but A3 is having 1. So A4 you can directly connect to this 0, okay, directly connect to this OR gate, and if A3 is having value 1, then you can use a inverter, so that 1 will be converted into 0 and now this 0 will be connected to this OR gate. Okay, so if any of the bit of this OR gate is 1, then this will give 1, so this G2A bar will not be selected and this G2A bar will not allow this decoder to be enabled. Okay, so this G2A bar will allow this decoder to be enabled only when it is having a 0 over here. Okay, so if any of the bit is having 1, then we need to put a inverter. Okay, so in this example what we are having, value of A3 equals to 1, so we need to put a inverter over here, so that is converted into 0 and now that 0 0 will go to this OR gate, so that this OR gate will give the output of 0 and that 0 will go to G2A bar, so that G2A bar can allow the decoder to work at its normal functioning. Okay, you can take any other address, like I take F4. Okay, F4, F5, F6 and F7, you can take any address. Okay, so if we expand this address, I always use H, stands for hexadecimal. Okay, if I expand this address F4, then what is it? F is 15 1 1 1 1 and 4 is 0 1 0 0. So these are A1 and A0. Okay, these are used for internal selection. So 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. Okay, and these three are A7, A6 and A5. So these three are applied to this 1 1 1. Okay, now see here, EA 111. Okay, for this address these three are 111. For this address also these three are 111. So if we left without connecting this G2A and G2B to these other remaining pins, and if we left with A7, A6 and A0 with these 111 or these 111, then this is the partial decoding, that for this address, for these addresses this chip will be selected, and for these addresses also this chip will be selected. So this is called a partial decoding. Okay, but when we connect all the bits and when we take all the bits into account, then we can say that only for these addresses this chip will be selected, and this is called full decoding. Okay, so we see here these are your A7, A6, A5, and this is your A4, A3 and A2. Okay, now A4 is 1, A2 is 1. So if A2 is 1, you can connect it by using a inverter. Okay, so if I use an inverter like this, so that inverter will convert this value 1 into 0. Okay, now when this A2 is 1 for this address, this is passed through the inverter, and that inverter or that a NOT gate will convert this value into 0, and that 0 goes to G2B bar. Okay, now A4 and A3. Okay, so A4 is having 1 and A3 is having 0. So you can connect A3 directly with this OR gate, and for A4 you can use an inverter to convert this into 0, so that this OR gate inputs are 0 0, and that 0 will be at output to connect the G2A bar. Okay, now you are having confusion like this, that why we are connecting A3 and A4 with this OR gate and A2 separately with this 0. No, there is no there should be no confusion with this. You can connect A2 and A3 over here, you can connect A4 and A2 over here. Okay, but you need to be cautious about this, that the 0 signal should be available at G2A bar and G2B bar. Okay, whatever pin you take over here, either A2 or A2 A3 or A4 A2 or A4 A3, but the 0 value should be connected to this G2A bar and G2B bar. Okay, so if you take A4 and A2 over here, so both are having 1 value, so you put an inverter for both the lines, and then they will be converted into 0, and that 0 will come to the G2A bar, and A3 is having value 0, so you can directly connect this A3 without using this inverter. Okay, so in this way you can connect any of the pin with this G2A bar and G2B bar, but our purpose or our aim is to select the chip only for these addresses only, or for these addresses, or whatever mentioned addresses only. Okay, so we need to take all the bits into account. Okay, what are all the bits? These are for internal selection, and these remaining 6 bits we have taken into account. These 3 are inputs, and these 3 are connected to G2A bar and G2B bar. Okay, whatever pair you want to make, you can make. Okay, I hope you understand this interfacing of 8254 PIT with the 8085. Thank you.